Hi, my name is Kate, and I'm jumping on to give what I hope to be a quick review of the makeup called Seint. I'm sure that most of you have seen a lot of the videos of women putting dots and stripes all over their face and then looking beautiful afterwards. And I'm sure, like me, you were very intrigued and probably came on YouTube searching for honest reviews. Um, and that was me for months before I caved in and I got it. And I was really lucky to meet someone who let me try it before I ordered it. So that was really great. So I've been waiting kind of a while because I'm always with my kids, and I knew there'd be no way that I can do this unless my husband got them out of the house a little bit. So hopefully I can get through this whole thing while they're out. So I just started selling Seint because I love it so much. So I'm going to be open and honest, which was really weird for me because I'm really, really honest, and that doesn't really make a good salesperson. But I just figured it's fun. I enjoy playing with the makeup now. And if me putting on the makeup, someone's interested and they want to buy it, great. If not, it's not a biggie, like a big deal. So let's get into the makeup. What is it? It is 3D foundation. And what that means is instead of having like a flat face with all these different layers of like contour and bronzer and blush and illuminators, or highlights is what I was used to calling that. The names are very different. Instead, it's one layer, but just advanced. It's like it pops up. But yeah, again, you can tell I'm not a salesperson by any means for this. I'm just being honest. So yeah, that's what I really loved about it, was the idea that it wasn't going to be layers of makeup, because I don't like the feeling of makeup on my face. I like really natural looking makeup, but I'm in my 30s and I need a little bit more makeup than what I want to wear, I guess, most days. I didn't contour, I didn't wear blush, and I was like, I want to do that. I don't know how. I didn't do that as a teenager. That wasn't the thing. So I was a little intimidated, but I'm like, these girls are making this look really easy. I want to do it. Again, I didn't jump on it really quick because it is a little expensive to initially invest in what you need to make this really work. So yeah, cream based. It melts in your skin, which is so nice. It's not even like into your skin. It really sits on the skin, but it just melts. And it really has this like naturally dewy look, which again was new to me as well because I liked matte, but I have drier skin. And as I'm getting older, you just see everything more. And I was like, I need that dewy look, even though I don't want to look wet. Some women put makeup on and they look wet, and it's weird. If that's your thing, great, but not for me. So yeah, so the dry skin, it just works so well. So when I first tried it out, I got color matched in person, and she actually had some extra stuff that she just gave me. She gifted to me to try and play with. And that is this compact right here. And the shades were spot on, but she didn't have the right contour or the blush that I preferred. But what was really cool about it was the contour she gave me, even though it wasn't the contour that I would get if I was properly color matched. Not that I wasn't, she just didn't have it on her to gift to me. It still looked really nice, and was super easy. Even the blush was pinker than what I would have picked for myself, but it looked really nice. I was really shocked with how nice it looked. However, the first time I put it on myself, I put on way too much, and I really didn't think I was putting on that much. Like with this makeup, less is more. Like 100% less is more. If you are someone who likes some serious full coverage the first time you do it, don't do that. Just start out like small amounts, and you can always go back and add. So that would be my first recommendation, is less is more. So I played around with it for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks before I decided to like jump into it. Because every time I used it, it got that much easier and my skin liked it that much more. So that's my other recommendation. If you try it and you're not so sure about it, try it for a few weeks. Keep messing with it. My next biggest thing with it is the way that these other influencers or artists, as they call us, put it on. I don't put it all over my face with all the dots. Now, I do that with the contour because the contour is mainly on the edges. And then I'll put the highlights shades where they need to be, and highlights are foundation shades. So they either come with 2 highlight colors, the palettes, or 3. 3 is really nice because you can use a darker one to fix certain spots like acne marks. Or if you're transitioning from one season to the next, you can bounce back and forth between a few. So that's really cool. So I do the foundation colors, the highlights, with contour. And then I buff all that in. And so again, the technique is a little different too. You're not like smearing it everywhere, you're buffing it, and you really want to keep it in place because it's supposed to sit on your skin, and if you buff it all together, it's just going to look like a muddy mess. And I think that's the problem, is that a lot of people get it and they kind of do this whole dot system and it just looks messy and muddy. And they're like, this is not what that woman looked like. I can't personally do that. And I think maybe that would work for younger people who don't have aging skin. It didn't work for me, which is fine because I messed around with it and I found what worked for me and I really like it. So I do the contour and then I blend it all in, and then I'll go and do, the bronzer here and I buff that on a little bit. And then I do the blush. Now, maybe if you're someone who wears really heavy, now again, I don't know if you can see, I'm in, I have the light on, but I also have like a window right there. So this is pretty good lighting. And it's, you can see some of like my flaws and everything. I want to look like me. And I really like that because this makeup really allows you to look like you. But I have a friend who wants everything covered and she does the full coverage and she loves it and it works for her. So you can do either one. You can always go back and add more. Again, so because I don't do heavy like contour and heavy foundation, which you're really not supposed to do, again, like you see, like this looks really great and I'm actually pretty insecure about my skin. So, and I feel glowy and confident and healthy and youthful, which again, I love having 2 kids. I need that. But so putting the blush and the bronzer on top doesn't make me feel like I have that cakey layered feeling that I did when I used other makeup. And other makeup just left me feeling dry. Like I just looked dry. I couldn't wait to get home and wash my face. That was me. I do my makeup to get out the door, and then I just didn't like the way it felt. I don't feel that way with this, so I really like that too. Yeah, so I don't do it the same way that they do it in the videos. And I think that as you get older with aging skin, I don't really know if that's appropriate with this makeup. Again, you can, and again, they show you how quick you can do it. I do my makeup and like my foundation, but my whole makeup, my eyes, my eyebrows, 10 minutes with this. When I'm looking in my own mirror and not trying to do it in a camera for someone. So it is super quick, even without doing all the dots, like where they make it look like 3-minute makeup. Another thing is they do it with one brush. Do I suggest you use just one brush for the whole thing? Probably not. The brushes are a little bit of an investment. So as you get the one brush with the palette, and you can use it because I did that too. And you see them doing the fingers. So you could do your contour with your fingers and then do the foundation with this and buff it out. And you can do it. And they have a cleaner, which is actually really cool for these brushes where you spray it on, you clean it, and you can use it right away. It smells like vanilla. so it smells really good. Unlike, I was horrible at cleaning my brushes because I would remember to clean them before doing my makeup, but I couldn't because then they'd be wet. So you don't have that with this. So you could even clean in between if you really wanted. You don't necessarily need to, but I like using, like I'm investing in getting, all the other brushes. They had them on the site for a reason, because different brushes are better for different parts of your face, different makeup. So again, the way they advertise that with the one brush, the one palette, you can do it 100%, absolutely. I don't do that, and that's just me. I think the coolest thing about this is that the makeup is supposed to be you, but better. And I'm big on do what works for you, do what you like. Don't just do what other people do. So yes, can it be that easy? 100%. Does it need to be that simple? No, you can play around with it. It might actually be more simple if you change it up and do something else. So I'm trying to think what else. The compacts. I wouldn't leave it in the car. I live in the South, so I could imagine that it's gonna melt. So I think like the lip thing, I love the lip and cheek, how they're interchangeable, but I don't know how well that's gonna work. I wish they would put those in like lipsticks or lip glosses, just to have those to like bring with you. Granted, you could bring the compact, but I've had a few things melt in my car before, so I wouldn't want to do that with this. Ideally, I wouldn't bring it unless I was going to a wedding or something, and I thought about touching it up. Trying to think what else. I mean, overall, I really, really love the makeup. I think that it requires time to play with, to get used to. I would say you should definitely start with the 8 palette, even though it's a little bit more than the 4 palette, to really gauge if you're gonna like it. You're gonna want the contour, the bronzer, and the blush to really see if you like it and to play with it. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so that's awesome. I had someone who had a tin that came like a little smudge or melted. They didn't even have to return it. They were just gonna ship out a new one to them. So they're really great. They stand by their word with all of that, as long as you're not dipping in it and using it for a solid month and then decide, like, I don't mean using it for like using it, because the cool thing about it is the bronzer, the highlight, the blush, even the contour, that lasts like 9 months to a year. It's really just the foundation shades that you might change as you go, because of seasons, right? If you change shades, those last like around 4 months, and then they're only $16 to replace. So really, what are you going to spend, like $35 if you get like 2, right? So I think that's a really great investment. I love that because I spent $50 every time. And then again, living in the South, you're changing season. It was really annoying because I'd have so much extra makeup that I couldn't use because I was no longer that shade. So I really love that about this too. Again, so I used Bella bronzer on my face today. I have baby watermelon on my cheeks. My main shade is Sandy. In case you were wondering, it's so hard to tell though on this that I would definitely go get color matched. And yeah, you could color match yourself by looking if it's on the site. But if you're interested in knowing anything more, you have any more questions, shoot me an email. It's Kate, Kate, Seint, SEINT @gmail.com. You can send me a picture of yourself looking into the phone, the camera, in front of a window, so you got some natural lighting. Just make sure the light isn't directly on your face, no glasses, no makeup. Just send a selfie and I'll color match you, and give you some information and get you started if that's what you want to do. One thing I'd also suggest is 100% not only watch YouTube videos to see how other people are doing their makeup and what they have to say, just because it's helped me so much because I watched so many before I even tried the product. But there's even these beautiful women. One's Michelle, that I've watched a really long time for mature skin. So if you're a little older, she has really great tips. Again, she uses also, I didn't even want to get into this, called Demi. It's basically a tinted wax and it's color correcting. So if you have a lot of wrinkles or bags under your eyes, but you don't want like concealer, because it looks cakey, even though I will say I never use concealer because I don't like anything in my fine lines. This really doesn't look bad. I use such a small amount. This doesn't sit in my fine lines. However, their Demi line that they sell, oh, it's amazing. And that's probably what drew me to this before Seint, like the makeup, because they were separate at first. So it's amazing. So that's also for blemishes, if you have freckles and sunspots you want to cover up, it's color correcting. So you can use that without foundation and it just covers that up, but you're still glowy, and I'm obviously very excited about that. So that's also something that you should look into. But there are these women, back to what I was saying, there's these women who do these videos for mature skin and have such great tips, and they use the Seint and the Demi, and that's really what got me excited about this. So yeah, again, I'm not telling you have to buy from me. It's good makeup. So get it and try it, and send it back if you don't like it. But I'm thinking you will. The people who say that it's too heavy and greasy feeling, I think they're putting too much on and they're not realizing because they're used to doing it like typical foundation, and it's totally understandable. I did it too. But it's beautiful, it's glowy, it's totally worth giving a try. So that's my advice. That's my review. And that's it. All right. So have a great Sunday. Thanks for listening to me blab about Seint. I hope this was helpful. Bye now.